Hello guys and welcome back to another Club World Cup fantasy video. Today I'm going to present to you a list of transfer targets for the upcoming match day 2. I'm going to go through the fixtures and I'm going to go team by team in which I think there are heavy favorites and which players you should be selecting for your team. I'm going to go through a lot of players today, but you can decide based on budget, based on priorities, based on what you need, based on what you feel, and based on vibes as this game provides. I think a good potential of a vibey selection. If you enjoy my content and want to see more, please subscribe to the channel. It's completely for free and you help me grow massively. It will be very much appreciated and all of your help will not go unnoticed. Thanks so much, and now let's dive into the fixtures. Starting with the first game, we're starting with Palmeiras Al-Ahly. To be fair, I'm not a fan of either of sides to invest, neither in Inter Miami or Porto. In my eyes, it's no need to invest in those teams. I think, yeah, they have some good cheap players, but at the end of the day, it's not that amazing to watch. Both games ended in a goalless draws. Teams are not that exciting. Probably you can get some Porto attackers against Inter Miami, such as Agihova or Mora, but that's it, as Inter Miami were shocking even against Al-Ahly, so I suspect that they will lose against Porto. The first team that I'm going to talk about today is going to be Atletico Madrid. I think that they are heavy favorites against Seattle Sounders. Botafogo defeated Seattle 2-1 in the first week, and I feel like Atleti will score a lot of goals. Looking at their players and who can help me with the team selection, the first player that I really like is Julian Alvarez. I think as a forward, costing 9 million and around 10% ownership, I think that he can do some serious business in the upcoming match day 2 and probably in match day 3, as then they play against Botafogo and they need to win both of those fixtures. 9 million, he's around the price of every mid-price range striker such as Girassi, Pavlidis. You can go further and further down the list with a lot of players on the same price point, but 9 million for me is an amazing price point. A second player that I really enjoy is Jan Oblak. I think that even though he conceded 4 goals and lost 3 points for those conceded goals, at the end of the day he made 6 saves, so he's a solid keeper, and if you're looking to invest in their defense, he's one of the options. Of course, if you go down the list, there are a lot of players that also can excite you in defensive department, but for me, from that team, it's only going to be Alvarez and Oblak. That's it from Atletico Madrid. Moving next into PSG. Now we're talking a lot more serious business. If we go to PSG, we start with one of my favorite players so far, Kvaratskhelia. I think that this guy is amazing. His ownership is rising by the minute, and at the end of the day, I think that he can do some solid work. I don't know if he will play both fixtures, but I think against Botafogo he will be a starter, and if they do their job, and because he played 72 minutes, I think that's completely enough. Another player with a good potential is Vitinha, 6.1 penalty taker. As we can see, he scored against Atleti from open play, and he can replicate this all over the game. Clean sheet, goal score, minutes played, all amazing stuff from him. Another option that I really like for their attack is going to be Doe. Of course, he hasn't been as exciting. He played 80 minutes, around the same as Kvaratskhelia, but yeah, Kvaratskhelia was just the better player. I think that it's worth investing the money, but if you don't have enough funds, Doe is a perfect replacement, and I think if we want, we can include Gonçalo Ramos. I think that him with shots on target too, he got more points, but at the end of the day, I don't know until when he will play, but probably he will play throughout the whole group stage. So yeah, I feel like he can be used. In defensive department, of course, the obvious option is Achraf Hakimi. I would recommend him heavily if you're looking for someone cheap and differential, not cheaper and differential. That's Marquinhos, of course, and he got amazing 8-pointer because of his scouting bonus. yeah, good. Even though he received a yellow card, he ended up with 1 more point. Donnarumma is a great keeper if you're looking to buy a keeper. Nuno Mensch is an amazing defender, a little bit cheaper. You can afford him. Of course, the likes of Pacho here being differential. I think he's rising soon. 5.2 with 2 bonus points, clean sheet, minutes played. I think he is going to be an amazing pick. You have plenty of players to pick from that PSG squad. Have in mind that players like Lucas Hernandez, probably Kimpembe, probably someone like let me find someone that I think might play. Zaire Emery might start getting more and more minutes throughout the tournament, but for now I think that there isn't anything to worry about. Then moving into another team, being Benfica here, you can go bonkers. I think that here it's going to be where the big points are made in Matchday 2. Just let me find Benfica. We start with the obvious pick in my eyes, that's Trubin Ingo. If you're looking for a cheap-ish keeper at 5.3, I already have him in my squad, but he's going to be a great asset. Then we move to someone like Carreras, flank wing back on the left. I know that he's not longer a differential, but 4.8 is a great price point, and I think that Carreras will do amazingly well. Moving down below, I think Otamendi still considered differential. I don't think that will be the case, but he can score from set pieces, and Auckland City were pretty poor on those set pieces when I watched the game. Going down to the list now, we start picking some attacking players. Kokcu at 6.6, a great addition into the game and into your team. If we go down further below, we pick someone like Actor Kluglu. I butchered that name, but yeah, honestly, amazing asset that you can rely on. And last but not least is going to be someone of the likes of Pavlidis. Sorry about that scrolling, but yeah, he's over the differential, but who cares if he scores 4 or 5 goals against Auckland City? Honestly, it's an amazing team to target. I think there are 6 players at least that are in contention to make your squad. Now moving down below, the next game is Flamengo versus Chelsea. I don't think you should be buying players from their teams. LA versus Esperade de Tunis, I think Flamengo and Chelsea will be top 2 places, so these teams are not that exciting. Bayern Munich, I think you should be investing into. Starting with the first player that you should consider, and that being Harry Kane. I know that he blanked against Auckland City, which is honestly, I don't know how this happened, but yeah, it gave me flashbacks of the Mohamed Salah blank against Bournemouth in the 9-0. Still, he's a great asset to own. Ulize, great performance, 19 points. Got a good rest, 45 minutes played only, so he could have been with a clean sheet and with more points, so he missed on those 21 points and even more goal contributions, but I think he got the rest so he can be utilized fully against Auckland City, which suits me ideally well. Moving then to some defensive assets from Bayern Munich. If we scroll a little bit up, we start with someone like Müller. I don't know if he will continue playing, but why not? Maybe he's still an option. If we move down, Jonathan Tah is one of the good options. He got scouting bonus, clean sheet, assist, and minutes played. It's amazing what you got for those 12 points. Rafa Guerrero sadly got only the clean sheet and the minutes played the same as Stanisic, so it wasn't worth investing. But Rafa Guerrero is once again an option. Manuel Neuer is an option with that clean sheet. If we move down, someone like Kimmich, he played 90 minutes, but still I don't see it happening. Upamecano is going to come back soon, but honestly I will be investing in Kane, Ulize, Musiala. By the way, I forgot to mention Musiala, who I think will start playing, so probably Müller won't be there, but yeah, against Boca I think he plays. So Musiala, Ulize, Kane, Ta, Neuer, Guerrero, I think those are the top picks from Bayern Munich for you to invest. Moving then into Borussia Dortmund, as they're facing Mamelodi Sundowns. And by facing Mamelodi, first of all, a keeper option with fixtures against Mamelodi and then Ulsan. I think that they are in a good place to keep a clean sheet. Then we go down, and someone like Anton being 4.6, a defensive differential option, can be good if Rierson or Svensson doesn't deliver. don't deliver in the attacking sense, it would be better to go for Anton because he will get you the scouting bonus. But of course, the best options to go for are, as I already mentioned, Rierson, 4.9, better option compared to Svensson, who is 5.3, almost a scouting pick, but no, not even close. I would say I think they're the best two options. Ben Sabian is still a solid option, but I prefer Anton for 4.6. If we move down, someone like Julian Brandt is a great option. He's 5% owned, so sadly you won't get the bonus, but he's okay to own. Girassi, I don't think I need to defend his appeal. He's just amazing. And Adeyemi over, a lot over those 10% that I expected. But at the end of the day, I think he's good. He hasn't yet played against Fluminense at time of recording, so take it with a pinch of salt. Maybe they get some injuries, maybe not. Bellingham, I don't know if Job will start playing, but we have to see. But the best picks are Kobel, Anton, Svensson, Rierson, Brandt, Adeyemi, Girassi. You have 7 players to pick from. Moving then to a team of Inter Milan. Of course, we haven't seen them play yet, but that doesn't stop us for preparing for the next week. Sommer, expensive, no, in the middle keeper, but 5.4, good potential. The best asset in my opinion, Denzel Dumfries, back 4, back 5, I think he's playing. You can go for someone like Bastoni, he's very, very expensive. And if you can nail someone like Pavar or a Cherby, or even Darmian in the starting lineup, you'll be cooking. De Vries is also good. Pavar is my probably the player that I would say has a highest chance of starting. Then in midfield, I would be avoiding, and of course up front, Thuram and Lautaro Martinez. If you can afford any of them in your lineup, you will not be mistaken. I think they're good assets to have. Then Fluminense versus Ulsan. I would say that Fluminense will need this game to score some points, so I will go and check their players. I'm not particularly familiar with the Fluminense team, but I think there are some players that we can use. Is that the real Thiago Silva? I am not certain. Sorry, I'm not very familiar with them. Renato Augusto is not a bad shout. It's a name that I know. If we go for Binho, Kenu, Everaldo, we need to watch the game against Bayern Munich, how they set up, and we will know with certainty. Against Borussia, sorry. River Plate versus Monterrey. Here you need Mastantuono and Armani. Those are the options that you should be going for. I don't need to extend it now. We enter the Juve category. And going to Juve would mean now selecting players. Di Gregorio, one of the better goalkeepers to own this season. Then you go to someone like Gatti, differential at the moment. Kawuwu, great player to own, another defender. Cambiaso, great defender to own. My personal favorite is Lloyd Kelly, good asset to have. Then we move into midfield, and someone like Conceição is not a bad shout, but I prefer more the forward line. Udis is a good shout, and of course Kouamouani for those 8 millions I think are going to make a lot of people happy, and a lot of squads filled in with proper players to have. So from Juve defenders, keeper, Conceição, or forward line in a sense. Next up is Real Madrid, and from Real Madrid, from Real Madrid we go down here and up, and we start with Courtois. Courtois is great. Then we go to someone like Trent. I couldn't find him in the list, but Trent is a very solid option. I think he's going to be on set pieces now with Modric limited time. I think he's a good option. Bellingham, of course, great option. Vini, expensive like hell, but good option. And of course, Mbappe is probably the best option to go for. I think that Real Madrid is good covered. Salzburg versus Al Hilal, I think is going to be an equal game. And the last team that we're going to discuss is Man City. We go. We start, of course, with Ederson, expensive keeper though. Then we get Gvardiol, expensive defender, but if he starts, he's going to be good. Rodri might be a good option if he starts playing. Then we get into Oscar Bob, 0.4 if he plays. Brilliant. Then we have Erling Haaland. I think one of the best captain options in that week. Then we have, finally, in my eyes, Cherki, the other solid option to go for. Those are the players that I would recommend to buy for match day 3. Of course, match day 2, sorry. Of course, if you cannot afford any of them, you can rotate a little bit the squads. I would say Benfica is with top priority. Next up is PSG. So if you can afford PSG and Benfica players, it would be ideal. And yeah, basically it would be as good as it gets. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for contributing to the channel. Thanks so much for being part of the channel. Sorry about my hiccups. I don't know what happened. But yeah, please subscribe, like, comment down below. And tomorrow I will see you with my team selection. I will be preparing my team around the players that I need to buy. And of course, we will be preparing with the proper squad. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being part of the community. And once again, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and come to the videos and let's have some fun. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye!